Hey, y'all, welcome to a special episode of the Late Night Vision Show. It's always good to be able to do these remote shows. It adds a little bit of a layer of difficulty because of all of the equipment that we have to bring in. But we are here. I'm going to call this Legacy Ranch. But these guys come up here to my neck of woods, Ben Wheeler, Texas. We call it East Texas here, but they say where they're from is more East Texas. But we are in Ben Wheeler, Texas, the official hog capital of the state of Texas, and that is official. You can check the record books. We may have to grease some palms to be able to get that type of recognition, but we are here. We've got not a new face, a brand new face that we've talked about a lot, and we got the owner of Outdoor Legacy here to introduce and reintroduce both of these guys.
Guys, before we get started, I'm going to tell you straight up. Hans is right. I think this is a special show. Hans likes to say that when we have guests and things. It's a special show. It is special because it's different. We are up here in Hans's neck of the woods, and so it's fun. I'm going to just shoot y'all straight. This is probably going to be a different show because we have got terrible notes written with a Sharpie. It was on a paper towel, but Tim found a piece of scratch paper. I mean, this is by the seat of our pants, but let me tell you what's going on. We have got not his first time, not his second time, but I don't even know if it's third or fourth. I don't even know. But we've got Mr. Tim Dore from Envision all the way from Massachusetts down to Texas. Tim, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm not going to lie. For the first half of my life, I pronounce it Massachusetts.
Yeah. I didn't want to correct him on camera. Massachusetts.
Okay. What did I say?
I would say the first half of my life, I pronounced it just like Jason. Massachusetts.
I have no idea. Just insulted a large percentage of our customers. I apologize on behalf of Redneck Hillbilly from East Texas. But we're glad to have Tim back. And I want to say, I think that, a lot of y'all know, and again, we're going to be open and honest on this show. We've had Jeff Murray on this show from Pulsar a good bit, and Jeff he's made a goal that he wants to be the most on the show. He says he wants a plaque with his name on it, and I think that Tim is kind of taking a little bit of that's kind of like throwing down the gauntlet. Tim said, "I'm in Texas. We're putting another little notch on my belt here."
Yeah,
so,
I mean. Jeff, I'm coming for you.
He's coming for the belt. He's coming for the title.
Envision has got one more check mark tonight.
Well, and I will say, he came a long way to be on the show. I'm not saying
that counts.
Does that count for two? Is that two?
Four.
I mean, I'm going to tell everybody he came here just to be on the Late Night Vision show, but I can't promise that.
That's the story, and we're sticking to it. So he's on the Texas tour.
Exactly.
So, all right, guys, we're going to get back to Tim. Tim's been on the show. He's an old regular here. He's an old pro.
We got some Envision products right here in the front.
Yeah.
To display and
did
show.
You say Envision correctly? I think he said like invention from
We got some Envision and Envision. So.
Envision, yeah. But we've got another face that you probably haven't seen before. You might have seen him on some of his stuff on social media. That's Rowe ETX. That's ROWETX. This is Mr. Ashley Rowe. He is the newest member of the Outdoor Legacy team. If you are watching this podcast, you've probably watched some more episodes of our show. Because if you haven't, I hope this is not the very first show you've ever seen. They're normally way better than this.
Don't judge us on this one.
Yeah, it's late at night and we're goofing off. So, but Ashley is our newest salesman here at Outdoor Legacy. Hans and I have been talking about him for about 6 months now.
We talk about Ashley a lot on the show. For a lot of y'all now that are disappointed, I know when we talked about our other salesperson, Ashley, they probably thought it was some very good-looking, very attractive young person that is a thermal expert. No, y'all, he's a big hairy animal.
Further from the truth.
He's a big hairy animal.
The viewership will now go down. I'm sorry.
I know when they call and they get Ashley, they're like, well, this is not what I expected.
Oh, it's normal, yeah.
Ashley has a long, extensive history, not just with Outdoor Legacy, as a very good customer of ours for many, many years back, but thermal hunting, whether it be coyote, hog hunting, we've hunted some tournaments together.
Yeah.
In East Texas and around this area, and somebody that has looked through, even before he came on board, has looked through more thermal optics than most common person out there on the street or in the field, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so tell us a little. You don't have to go into great detail. You can leave out anything that's not appropriate for the show. But how did you get into? How did you get into what you're doing now? You know, a lot of us we talked about. We got in this because we started hunting because we had to. We just had a lot of fields getting torn up, whatever. And I know you and you run a lot of farm equipment and implements, and you do a lot of hay cutting on the side and stuff. Tell us what got you into hog hunting, coyote hunting, and early on and with thermal.
Sure. So I just had a natural, strive to go out and hunt. Love the outdoors growing up. And I remember at 15, I got my first e-collar, right?
Yeah.
And, when you live 45 minutes from town, and it's 45 minutes to Walmart or a gas station, you don't have a lot of options when you live out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So ended up with an e-collar and, had a cassette tape. And I know a lot of y'all might not know what that is, but a cassette tape is that it was a wired speaker. And first time I used it, I was calling hogs, called in a big bore hog, shot him, spotlight at night. I was hooked from then on. Years later.
For our younger people, that is a white light. You normally got a big long cord. You carry a car battery.
And what was more impressive, it wasn't even mounted to the gun. I was holding it in one hand and looking through the other. So
that is impressive.
It was impressive that I even killed the hog. Yeah. So anyway, I did kill him. But I was hooked from then on. It wasn't until years later, my brother-in-law came down and he had just got into some night vision and thermal hunting, and this was in the very early stages, and he came to the house like, man, you got to go out. We got to check this out. And, which one do you want? I was like, I've never even heard of thermal. What is that?
Yeah.
So got the thermal and used it, saw some hogs, and I was hooked from then on. So after that, as soon as I was able to afford it, started purchasing thermals and, calling Jason. And I think I bugged him many times before there was even a Michaela or
That's right.
or a Hans, and was buying mounts and batteries. And before you know it, he somehow slipped up and talked me into buying a monocular. So been hooked ever since.
A good sales pitch, Jason.
Well, it was, So, there's a couple things that a lot of guys say, man, I would love to be in this industry. I'd love to do this for a living. What's it take? Well, number one, you got to come by from Outdoor Legacy. That's the number one rule. Yeah. And I think
there's a limit. There's a spending limit.
Spending limit before you get into
when you meet that level, then we'll talk.
When you buy an Envision product, you get on a shorter list.
Exactly. That's how I ended up here.
We'll talk about some of this.
That's
gear.
right.
This is Ashley's gear here. We'll talk about some of this. But another thing, I don't know where this requirement came, but I think you got to be in East Texas. I mean, it's
kind of necessary.
Ashley's about 30 minutes from me. So
about 30-minute drive.
Yeah,
so
deep East Texas boys.
So. And more than just a hog and predator hunter, you shoot some monster deer. You like to bow hunt.
I do. Yeah.
You shot a nice deer this year up in
Oklahoma. Yeah. Took my second 180 class with archery. So
never even seen one of those.
Man. It's
wait, 180 pounds.
180 pounds. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So I've been a bow hunter for as long as I can pick up a bow and shoot. So
Well, so when you call Outdoor Legacy and we talk about our other salesperson, Ashley, this is him, y'all, right there.
But before he worked for us, he was working as the bearded lady in the circus.
I was. It wasn't paying very well.
I don't know if this is a step up or what.
I don't know. I mean, it's a circus still.
I still hadn't told my parents where I'm employed by Outdoor Legacy. So.
I understand. Yeah, you don't want to.
So, Ashley knows this stuff, just like the rest of us. We test everything. There's a lot of painstaking time and effort and money that goes into testing all the equipment. It goes to Jason, it goes to Ashley, it goes to me. We all get units that we test in the field, and we do so that when people call it, we can give them firsthand information about the optics. But again,
Well, and I'd say this: if you've been watching any of our reviews in the last 6 months, I can tell you for an absolute fact that you're seeing footage this guy's getting, because it's really made Hans and I's job a lot easier.
I know, man. I'm staying at home, like chilling out on the couch.
Exactly.
Now. Ashley's out doing all the work.
He's kicking back watching, The Bachelor or something.
Yeah.
It's true though. Ashley's out. Using this stuff, getting his videos, it really is helpful to go from 2 people having to do it to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great. Glad to have Ashley. So again, if you call, you're very likely going to talk to one of these 2 guys. I'll tell you the truth. it's been kind of nice having somebody else take a load off me.
Man.
I've been,
and hopefully what everybody sees, and Tim, you can probably appreciate this from the manufacturer's point of view, but as a company, and this isn't an infomercial for Outdoor Legacy, but as a company, we put a lot of time, resources, and money into customer service. And that's not just from us answering the phone and talking about scopes and firsthand knowledge, but our office support staff with Michaela and Angela in the office handling the phone calls.
New hire coming this fall.
We got somebody else coming on board. We've got, our company is growing, very blessed, but it is it's the main reason is for customer service. Yeah. So that when people call in, they can get a hold of Ashley. They can get a hold of me. They can get a hold of you. The people in the office are taking care of people. And we do that because, first of all, that's one of the 3 legs and pillars of our company. But at the same time, we want to make sure that everybody has a good experience with their optics. And that's what makes Envision products so great, is that I rarely ever get a tech call or an issue with an Envision scope. I mean, rarely ever do I get anybody to call and say, I need help, or can't figure this out. I mean, that's what makes it.
I would take this a step further to what you're saying. And again, this is not on my list here. So
I'm going to say, when he drew this up, y'all, he had his names on it. And I was like, are you taking attendance?
Literally what it said.
Tim, Ashley,
Tim. I don't know. So
I didn't even make it on the list. I mean,
Hans was very upset about this when he came in here. Whatever. Yeah. So I'm going to say something that I cannot say about any other manufacturer, and this is not a slam on any of them.
Okay, I'm going to make myself a note. Get ready. You might have to edit or cut something out at this point. I'm going to wait my hand.
Can I make a note? Please leave this in.
Let me make a note of the time before Jason says something. Okay. All right, go ahead. The time has been noted. Go ahead.
Gosh. I don't know what I was going to say.
You make that face. When he gets that serious face, it's like, you can tell he's about to say something. He's thinking about it.
I'm thinking like, should I say this or not?
Exactly.
Hans knows enough. We've done this enough
times. Here we go. This is dangerous.
No, but it is true. And this is not a slam against the other manufacturer. But in all of our years of dealing with Envision, I can honestly say that not just, I can't say, well, just Jason, me, Hans, the ladies in the office, Ashley, none of us have ever received a call and said, I can't get anybody at Envision to pick up the phone, to answer an email, or to help me. Again, that's not saying every other manufacturer is not doing their job, but everybody, even Envision, there's just some crazy week and there's some problem and everybody's out of the office, whatever, but I've never had that. Y'all are a company that is dedicated to this, and you're going to make sure that somebody's either going to answer the phone or call the person back if there's not enough people there, or reply to the email. And I think that says a lot about your company. I mean, it really does. And we know what that takes. A lot.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, but absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it.
The biggest complaint that we get when people have an issue with the scope is when they try to get a hold of somebody and they just can't get anybody. They're not mad about the scope because they understand technology and things go wrong. What frustrates people is not receiving a phone call back, an email back, any type of acknowledgement. And that's what people want. And I think that's going along with what you're saying, Jason, is, just being there. Just being there. It's like just showing up for the job. Yeah. That's part of the battle, the biggest part of the battle. So kudos to y'all for doing that. Again, I mean, we've talked about this on the show. You are right now in the middle. I don't know if you're in the middle, in the beginning, or the end of a Texas tour, where part of the perks of your job is you get to go out and talk to dealers. You get to test optics. You're field testing stuff. You get to go out and hunt, and you're doing all this cool stuff. So,
hold on. I want to say something about this before you go on. So, listen, I'm gonna interrupt here because this kills me. We got Tim coming down from, however you say your state.
Massachusetts. You got to emphasize the chew.
From Mass. Can you call it
Mass?
Mass.
Okay.
So,
there you go.
So, all right. We got Tim coming down. He's coming to Texas. It's not his first time. He's been here. You've been here at at Hans's place more than one time.
You hear that, Jeff?
Yeah, that's right. Been here. But
Legacy Ranch.
so what do you do when you get a guy from the northern part of the country coming down? You say, hey, what are you gonna? You're gonna put him on hogs. That's what you're gonna do. So Hans has been going out painstakingly baiting up hogs.
I've got hogs on camera right now. I literally, before we started the show, I said, do y'all want to go shoot a hog or do you want to record the show?
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody said record the show. I got outvoted.
So guys, so literally, and I know you're not able to see this, but this is a cell camera picture of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hogs that I can see in this picture. So, all right, we got hogs baited up for this man, ready to go. So we're like, Tim gets here, everybody's glad handing, good to see you again, whatever. Like, man, we're gonna do some hunting. And he goes, you know what I want to do? I want to kill a coyote in Texas. And we're like, what? A coyote in Texas? What? You killed those all over the country. And we're like, never mind. We have some hogs. But yeah, so I don't know. He might shoot one of our
we know you've killed Texas hogs. I've seen pictures. You haven't killed a coyote in Texas yet?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
man, that's
And
no
it's
pressure.
a
challenge.
And
That's a lot of pressure.
What's worse is I've had the opportunity to, and it's just never worked out.
Never worked
So that doesn't mean I don't want to go out and hunt.
Yeah,
pigs,
that's what
but-
I heard. But yeah.
If the coyotes don't show up, he's down to shoot a hog.
Well, I
Or 10. Apparently 10. It was 10
I do have a concern that the later this show goes, the more likely it is that I'm going to be asleep on that couch in about an
We'll
hour.
end up in a recliner. So
Yes.
you've gone through. So what are some of the? I might be putting you on the spot because we've been talking about this. What are some of the cool things that you get to do when you going out on the road? You're a family man, great guy,
bunch of
bunch of kids at home. I know how it is being on the road. You're a dad, and the kids are driving your wife crazy, and your wife's calling, she's mad and all that. But you can tell us. You can tell us. He's like, I know exactly what I'm talking about.
He doesn't want to admit it.
Please. Pass.
But what are some of the cool things that you get to do that you're like, man, I got a pretty cool job?
I mean, you get to go hunting like on the company dime, you know. So it's not a Saturday night where I'm home and I have to make that decision. It's go out. So Texas, we try to come down here at least once a year, and this is kind of like this is the mecca of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Between Houston and Dallas. So coming down here, hanging out with guys like yourselves, going and shooting pigs, trying to shoot coyotes. I've done some cool trips up to the Midwest. That's always fun. I think the most fun I've had is shooting prairie dogs. That is hands down.
Prairie dogs with thermal or prairie dogs?
No, daytime. It was daytime. Maybe there was one on a gun. I don't think we were shooting them with it.
That would be pretty fun. You got to.
Yeah, it is a hell of a time.
When you see video of guys doing that, it's from like a long way away.
No,
like
we were close.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I'm.
You see them stick their little head up out of the hole. And it's like,
Yeah.
just like a
75
melon.
yards. Well, they move back, right? So as you're shooting, they continue to move back in their holes or their little network that they have. But you just follow them. And so you'll shoot one in a hole. It'll die. Either stay outside the hole, go back in. And then another one just pops out in the same hole, and then you shoot that one.
I need this.
It's a lot of fun. It is
Down
a
here,
lot of fun.
I've never even seen a prairie dog. Wouldn't even know what it would. It would probably freak me out.
No, they're tiny.
Really?
Oh, are they? I thought they
Yeah.
were like more like this size. I mean, I don't know.
They're
squirrel,
yeah, maybe some of them. They're small. They're not huge.
Okay.
8 pounds, 7 pounds.
Okay.
It's a lot bigger than a squirrel.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a squirrel. Listen, I'm a squirrel. I got a squirrel dog, okay? But I'm gonna say this, I ain't never killed like no 5.5 pound squirrel.
Definitely not any prairie dogs in East Texas. I'll tell you that. But that was
a lot of fun.
very cool. You see and you hear about the mecca of predator coyote hunting. You think about the Midwest. You think about North and South Dakota, the guys out there, even Utah, on some Southwest. But coyote hunting in Texas, with all the regions that you have, if you go to West Texas, it's flat and wide open. You're here, it's all wooded. Definitely different calling coyotes out of woods than it is, calling them from a field. We're going to try to get on some coyotes tonight. We're going to throw a caller out or two and see what we can get. But
I think we need to ask the question that everybody wants to know. The viewers clearly want to know. So, who are the most serious hunters? Northern hunters or Southern Texas?
I thought this show was supposed to remain apolitical.
Yeah, we're trying to get another war between the states.
I can answer that in a way that doesn't piss people off.
Okay.
Your most serious hog hunters clearly are down here because you don't have hogs too much up north.
That is the worst. This guy's
but
Jim for president. That's the biggest non-answer I've ever heard.
those coyote hunters are serious.
They're serious.
They are. There's some big money on those tournaments, and those guys,
100%.
It's a business for them. A lot of with getting furs and that kind of thing. I mean, that's what a lot of people are make their money in the off season is by yeah.
Also, some of these states you got your October to March or October to some places February, so they get after it. And to come back to your customer service comment earlier, those guys they call you. They go out on most of them are out a few nights a week, but they call you on the weekend. Like you got to turn that around fast. You have to because they're without it. Yeah. Right. And I'm sure you get those calls.
Sure.
Hey,
oh yeah.
So it's important. And step one, answer the phone.
Yeah. So it was a joking question, but in reality, you're correct. I mean, I say that even guys that will ask me is like, what do you think there's more skill in? I'm like 100% coyotes. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hogs are smart animals, and they are. But gosh, anybody can go out. I mean, there's times that shooting hogs is a shooting gallery. Coyotes, you're not stalking up out there on your. You got to call these things in. There is a lot going on there. There's a lot of skill involved. Just because you've got an electronic caller and you go press play, if you don't know what you're doing, you can call to all night long. And so anyway, I agree with you. I mean, I joke, but coyote hunters are serious. And
so. The prairie dog thing sounds really cool. Getting travel around doing some hunting sounds really cool. But what is also cool is this thing right here. This is Ashley's. We tried to get him to wear it during the show.
But then you changed your mind.
Once we saw it on the bearded lady,
We
no.
got the XRF, the Envision Halo XRF. Now we've talked about it before, but the most popular optic of Envisions that we sell, and maybe even countrywide, is the most expensive one in the line. This is the Envision Halo XRF. It's got the laser rangefinder built in, runs on two 18650 batteries with video and audio recording. You call me, I'm an expert.
Even know.
Please don't put two CR123s in there.
Please do not. It's the long rechargeable battery.
Expert. All right.
Don't believe me, just ask me.
Runs on 18650s. I mean, this is we talk more about this when people call. Tell me about the XRF. Tell me about the XRF. So with that being so, I had a guy today, and please ease his mind. He said, the XRF has been out for quite a long time. He said, obviously it's top of the line. If I buy this optic today, are they going to come out with something in 6 months that's going to completely replace it? Is it going off the market?
No, absolutely not.
I told him, I was like, this thing is their best
workhorse.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's been out. Now we're going on first shipments, 18 months. So, there's still a decent amount of product life cycle left to that. It's a good scope. I mean, from the image to that LRF, I mean, I was out the other night hitting things at 1,200 yards. We rated out to 1,000, but if you're getting a good signal, it's coming back. You can really reach out and tell stuff with it. So no, absolutely not. I would tell them without hesitation, go ahead and buy one.
One thing I want to talk about, and this is off the cuff, we're sitting here holding, I'm playing with this mount because, Hans is going to hate that because it's going to be like in the microphone over here. You hear this thing clicking around. But I think this is a good time. And if you're a frequent viewer of the show, there's a couple things you know. Number one, Hans and I and Ashley, Late Night Vision Show, Outdoor Legacy. If there's one company we love, maybe even more than Envision, it's American Defense. I mean, these guys, American Defense makes, in our opinion, the very best mounts. Period. I mean, American made. I mean, they're legit.
Yeah, in a video I just did, I said that they were the industry standard for mounts. I mean, if you look at all the manufacturers that are using them and all the different styles of mounts and their QD mounts, I mean, there's, I hate to say there's nobody else doing it, but I do think they are the industry standard for mounts.
So where I was going to go with this is Hans and I have addressed this more than once, but I think it's education, and that's what the show's about, is educating people and I mean, having fun whenever we do all the reviews and the stuff. And there's a lot of people that will look at a mount like this and they'll say, this is a large scope. And that little mount is probably, an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches long. And it's got a gripping surface on this side that's probably an inch and a quarter. And they go, how in the world will that ever hold? How will it hold zero? And there's no way if I take this off that it's going to return to zero. But this is zeroed for Ashley's rifle. And we're probably going to go hunting in about 30 minutes. Ashley, if we go shoot some coyotes tonight, what are you going to do? You going to go zero this thing?
I'm not. No, actually, I just shot a couple coyotes a couple nights ago. We pulled it off the gun tonight for the show, and I'm putting it right back on the gun, and I have absolute confidence it will.
He's going to miss, but it's not going to be the scope.
Exactly.
It's not the
mount. No.
But so one of the things that I know people, and I'm going to ask you, because I mean, y'all are the manufacturer. I think this is, where his answer is going to be. You know where this is going. It's a setup here. But you get this little bitty, small, tiny mount. And I know so many guys go, oh, I want 2 throw levers. I want it to be that long. I want it to be 20 inches. In fact, I want the longest mount with the most amount of surface contact on that rail. And I need 2 levers. Do you need 2 levers? And
no, when people call and ask, I always tell them, you don't put cheap tires on a Ferrari.
That's right.
Right. Like, there's a reason we use them. We use them because they make fantastic mounts.
And
they're
the reason,
reliable, repeatable.
Even at this size. It's proven.
Yeah. I mean, I've shot that thing countless times on 50 and taken it off, putting it back on, taking it off, putting it back on. And you would think, unsuppressed, right? You think it would blow it out. Nope. No. It is a tough mount. They make good stuff. We wouldn't work with a company if they didn't make good stuff.
No. And so, again, I just like to bring this up because we get this. I mean, I know the 3 of us are on the phones all day. I'm sure you get that too.
We hear it a lot.
But guys are worried about this small mount. We had, Tom Stewart from American Defense. He's a good friend of the show. Tom was on our show, and we said the same thing. Tom, tell the people. I mean, Tom is a military man. He demands perfection. Tom, do you need 2 throw levers? He's like, nope, makes you feel good. But,
it does. And also, people call in, they still don't believe it. It's like, well, go try it out for yourself. Exactly. And you get a call back the next day, and they tried it, and then they believe it. Yeah. So it's a good mount.
It is.
So we talked about the XRF. We talked about the mounts. Again, I mentioned this helmet. I told Ashley this thing is decked out, man. I mean, look at this thing. It's got this flashlight on the side.
Actually, I want to be clear.
I thought it was a mic.
He thought it was like a walkie-talkie. He was going to talk to somebody.
I was like,
I need the radio backup.
I was like, is this a walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this. One of the most underrated optics in the Envision line. I don't want to say underrated like it doesn't get its due, accolades, but the Knox 18 being here. I'll let you hold this thing because I don't want to drop it.
Oh, you're not going to hurt it?
But it kind of felt a little bit sweaty, but go ahead.
No,
it's like it's been used.
It has been used very much. Every night I go out, this is what I take.
Yeah.
I'm running this Knox 18. I've had it for a while now. Man, I can't say enough good things about it. I love the 1 power magnification for where we hunt.
Right.
You guys know. I mean, and Tim, you see it here. It's woods, and it's everywhere it goes thick. So, I mean, I use this for navigation. I use this for scanning. You can't beat it. I've ran several different binoculars, and this is what's on my personal rig. I can run anything I want, and this is what I'm running.
Right.
It's dependable. With this backup battery pack, I can run this thing for... Well, last 2 nights ago I had it out, and that was night 6 that I've been running it. I have not charged the battery one time. I mean,
let's talk about this. I mean, this is not like some $800 battery on the back of this.
No, this is just an Anchor battery pack that's available at Outdoor Legacy on the website. It powers this thing for many, many nights with no issues. The other thing about it that y'all have pointed out religiously, I'm left eye dominant. Well,
He's wrong-handed.
no, I'm right-handed. I'm just left-eye dominant.
I thought you were wrong-handed.
No, I'm right-handed, but left-eye dominant. That makes it worse. Maybe it doesn't help.
Yeah, I don't know. He's wrong-eyed.
His
I know-
handwriting is really bad.
It is horrible.
I know
Yeah.
this. I know this. Anytime that he grabs one of my scopes, see, this is wrong. This is wrong. The first thing he does, he's done it right here. He grabs my scope and he goes, and I'm like, "What are you doing to my eye cup?"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, you're wrong-eyed."
That's it. I have to get it rolled around to the right eye.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, what's really nice about the Knox is you can flip the screen, invert it, however you want to call it, Tim.
Yeah.
But you're not stuck with having to run this on a right eye. You can flip the screen, move it to the left side. I run it on modular dovetails. I can adjust it where I need it to fit, and it's everything's orientated. The menus are orientated.
Real quick.
Absolutely.
Live demonstrations.
Live demo.
Live
Live
demos,
demo. Never works. Well, this is like QVC.
Yeah.
For
But wait,
$7.99.
there's more.
But wait.
No, you can pop this mount off right here.
That's right.
This dovetail adapter. It can go on this. This is where it comes. It comes on this side. You'll see the small little elevation, the little lip here. This is where the mount goes. You can pop the mount off, throw the dovetail adapter on the other side, flip the display, go left or right eye.
Yeah.
So some guy,
Absolutely.
I run left eye because I don't really care about, a lot of people want to preserve a good eye while they're,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me, but
Sure.
there are people who like to have it on their right eye if they're behind the scope on their right eye. And you got the right mount. You just flip it up to the side when you get behind the scope
Sure.
and you're all set.
Yeah, and this thing weighs nothing. I mean, it's everybody thinks, oh, I don't want to wear a helmet. It's going to be lagging. I need counterweights. Man, I throw the battery pack in here.
Yep.
It balances out perfect. This thing weighs absolutely nothing. 12
640
ounces, I believe.
Yeah, 640
So,
resolution, 1 to
yes.
4 power, perfect for helmet mounted setup. Also, you can mount it on a rifle and turn the
That-
reticle on,
yeah.
and if you want to do some hunting, closer range because it's a 1 to 4 power, but perfect for that. Does a lot of different things, and I tell you, guys that run that are just ecstatic about it. I mean, they just love their Envision stuff. They love their Knox. That one, and I love the Knox 35 too. Knox 35 is probably one of my favorite as well. We talked about.
That's
But I think so. We had you on the show back in January, December, back near when the SHOT Show was, and we were talking about some new stuff. Really couldn't talk about that, any of the new stuff now or back then. Want to know if there's anything possibly that you can mention. I know you can't give away a lot of details on a lot of things, but where do we go from the products that you have right now? And without being specific, you don't have to, but we've got the XRF, we've got a couple of these helmet mounted, Knox 18, Knox 35. We've got a whole line of the Halo X's. Where do we go from here in the Envision line?
So
And say what you have to without getting
I
fired.
need to remember my notes.
Yeah,
so I don't say it
Yeah,
incorrectly.
Pull your cheat sheet up.
Well, what I will say
there's
is,
not room on my couch. For
what I
10
will say
people
is
fired,
that
that's
while you're looking that up, Envision as a company, they've done a good job in the past paying attention to what hunters want, not just consumers, but what hunters want, with going and adding video capabilities, audio capabilities to their optics, which was told would never be able to happen and couldn't be done. With this model, adding a laser rangefinder,
18650.
and the fact that they run on 18650s, it's not a proprietary battery. It's not something you can, $100 battery, anything. These are what hunters want. And then you did a good job, and y'all done a good job in the past listening to what the hunters need.
Yeah,
What
no,
can we-
that's why we're here. To get that useful feedback put into planning, action, and come out with new products. Well, so we're coming out with something that is going to be for those guys who want to keep their day scope and want to really reach out and touch stuff. We're talking past 250 yards and expect the same great image quality that they expect from us.
Okay.
That will be, it'll be here in the near future. I would, the gentleman who called in about the XRF, we're not lying to him. There's nothing that's.
I don't think
replacing
that's
that.
in the same
No, it's a
category.
little bit of different category,
Yeah,
right? But
and-
we do talk to a lot of people who really trust their day scope. Don't want, especially the coyote hunters, the guys up in the Midwest where they're reaching.
Yeah.
Some guys well over 400 yards. So something that will fit that application.
I
Right?
can't hit my barn.
Yeah, so, I mean, especially at night.
Yeah.
Right?
In the day. Oh, we're at night? Sorry, I was during the day. My bad.
You know, so and this will, you know, your neighbors won't have to worry about their dogs with this product. So
So I mean,
There
it's,
you
what
go.
I'm hearing
Or
is
the cows.
high quality, as you would expect in the Envision. I think people, from what you heard, you can read between the lines. You understand what's going on here, what's probably coming sometime. No time frame, but I can promise you this: if there's anybody working on something, it's these guys right here. They're working on it.
this year.
This year.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
That's right.
So,
This
We'll
year.
see.
That's yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
And I'm sure.
A lot of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
So Tim,
No lack of confidence.
No lack of confidence.
I'm
No.
going to extend the invitation that when this new optic does come out, we'd love for you to come down to Texas
Yeah,
and test it out on some of these Texas hogs and Texas
Coyotes. The
calves.
only ones to kill coyotes.
I mean,
The only ones
We'd love,
to kill.
we'd love for you to bring it down and use it here and test it here. And we definitely want to do. We will dedicate a show to the release of that, as always. But I'm excited.
I am too.
You know, because there's well, everything we've got so far has been great, but I don't expect anything less from this.
There's a real need for something that can go with the magnification.
Yeah.
There isn't something that can hold up to that
Right.
additional power. So that's what we want to do, and we're excited for it.
We're
Our
ready.
engineers are cranking away on it. I mean, they got today off, but they'll be back in there on Monday. They better be working their butt off
Tomorrow.
It's like there's guys in some room in white coats.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I like to imagine it.
Yeah.
White coats. For sure.
White, sure,
White
white coats.
So before when we get to our deal, if they want to see more about Envision products, if they want to see more information, where can you direct the listeners to go to?
Our website. I mean, I would encourage them to call you guys. I feel like
Good
every
answer.
time,
I was
every time I mean, well, you can't buy direct from us. You have to go through authorized resellers, which is how we want it. Every time I come on the show, you're always talking us up and talking about our products, how great they are, you know, how people like them. I don't think you guys give yourselves enough credit because I answer a lot of phone calls. We're like, yeah, I saw these guys on the Outdoor Legacy Gear show. Hans was telling me this, and then I got Jason on the phone.
Don't believe
You know,
anything.
you praise us for our customer service, but I don't field too many phone calls from people who have sour tastes of Outdoor Legacy Gear in their mouth. I feel like you guys do an incredible job, not just representing us, all brands
Thank you.
in a very positive way, and representing the product and taking care of customers. I call, you pick up, right? Sure. So or anybody calls, you know, they I think you guys.
If there's anything anybody knows about Jason, he is ready for a conversation.
He is, yes. Whether he's on his tractor or
That's true.
running cattle
That's
or
true.
you know,
Man is ready for a phone call. He wants to talk.
Ashley called the other day, and I was like, I'm sorry if it's loud. I'm in the cab tractor, and I'm bush hogging right now. And he was like, why aren't you working? I'm like, it's summer. It's a little slow. You know, it took a couple hours off.
Yeah,
but I'm still answering the phone.
It matters. It matters. I mean that. You guys, I feel like you guys do a great job. Again, we never get people that call that are pissed about their interaction with you guys, and we field more and more phone calls from people who say, "I saw the show." You know,
We appreciate that.
So
That means a lot, you know. And I'll say this: I'm joking about being in the tractor. If you ever call and Ashley answers and it's really loud, Ashley does a lot of pasture spraying this time of year, so he's out there keeping everybody's pastures clean, weeds. So
We're trying to keep the hogs visible.
that's right. Yeah,
I go the extra mile.
that's right.
Step out to get the
Got to see
hogs
those
are visible.
hogs and cows.
Yeah.
So no, well, it's very kind. We appreciate that. As always, we love having you on the show. We're again, it's an open invitation. It's a lot of fun. We're glad that you're down here. Ashley, we're glad to finally get you on the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
We want to get Ashley on here some more. We want we're gonna he doesn't know this yet, but our new deal, in case you haven't seen it, the 2-minute Tuesdays.
Yeah, his idea.
Yeah, his.
Well, we'll let the customer speak. They may decide, you know what?
Yeah,
Hans and Jason do such a good job. We don't need to see
That's
Ashley.
right. Okay,
So,
in the comments here, if you want to see Ashley on more, you need to say that. No, the 2-minute Tuesday, if you don't know what that is, it's where, again, Ashley's idea, he brought this up, of a lot of people saying, man, I wish I knew what y'all were reviewing. I wish I knew what y'all were testing right now. It's real quick. It's something short. It's something we're doing now on Tuesdays. And so we've been doing this for a few weeks. I will say this. I appreciate this from Hans, that we said 2 minutes, and then he's now, the rule is, which I think this is fair, is anything under 3 minutes counts.
There's
as
a two in front of there,
two,
then
it
it still
starts. So,
counts.
because I'm not going to lie to you.
I tell you, he cannot introduce himself in 2 minutes. So, I mean, like,
This guy's got 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
there's no way Jason's going to even
Yeah.
tell his name and the company in 2 minutes. So
whatever.
I had to extend it for him.
That is
Yeah.
bull. I just want to say,
Yeah.
the part about me is true, but
Yeah.
he's the one who went into this 2.54
Yeah,
or
that's true.
whatever.
That
But
is true.
Yeah, we're Ashley doesn't know. We're going to make him start getting on some of these as well. Because here's the deal. The truth is, he's testing the exact same stuff we are at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So he needs to earn his keep around here. You know,
Okay.
I may need to be back on the tractor doing some bush hogging or spraying myself. But listen, guys, all joking aside, we appreciate you watching the show. It really does. We have a great time. This has probably been the show we've cut up the most on. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
has to
lie.
be.
It has to be. We had a big meal a while ago. We had some good.
And the fact that you are a stickler for a script and for show notes,
Yeah.
and this is the
It
this is
doesn't
what
Tim,
you go.
Ashley, Tim.
The fact that he even let this
Tim was
slide into the
overzealous. He
show.
wanted to be nominated twice. I
The
mean,
fact that he let this slide into the show with these terrible show notes means that
Hey,
this is the
no
biggest
joke.
cut-up
I'm not
show.
joking. I really had a paper towel, and Tim was like, "You can't go on there with that." I was like, "What? They didn't expect much from us." You know? So anyway, guys, seriously, we appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching this show. As always, if you're looking for any kind of night vision or thermal optic, we would love to have your business. If you want to support this show, if you like this show, support us at Outdoor Legacy. Give us a call, 877-350-1818. You can talk to the bearded lady Ashley. You can talk to. That might be the new nickname.
That's gonna be the
I like
stuck.
it. I'm
I mean,
stuck
it's
now.
it's just
stuck,
yeah.
You
Yeah,
can talk
the
to
viewers have spoken. It's over.
The bearded lady.
Yeah.
Or people are going to call up and ask for the bearded lady. You realize what you started.
Please, the girls in the office will be like, yeah. So no, seriously, you can talk to us. We really do. We enjoy talking to you. We enjoy helping you. We love to have your business. Are you looking for these in-vision products? Any of these optics, whether it is the XRF, whether it's the Nox, or something in between. Because this is literally this is your two. You mean you've got your starting price range, you've got your highest end, and there is 3 more optics, 3 or 4 here in the middle. Again, we're glad to answer any questions about any of these units and if they're going to work for you. And I know a lot of people say, "Well, I like that XRF, that looks great, but do I really need that? What if I don't need the laser rangefinder?" Well, guess what? There's the Halo X50. It's $1,000 cheaper. It is the exact same scope, save the laser rangefinder. So if you want that magnification, you want that image quality, every single other feature, save yourself the money. Don't pay for the laser rangefinder. You can get it. So any of that stuff, give us a call, outdoorlegacygear.com. You can always go there as well. Again, you heard it right here. You can go to InVision's website, check anything out that you want to see there. And I'm not going to make their phones ring. So, but what I'm going to say is this. Yeah, I know
We're
you.
happy.
If you are thinking, okay, before I invest $9,500 in this, or before I invest $6,200, I want to know, what's it really like when I call this company? Call them. The phone number is on their website. It's right there. You call them, talk to them, ask them a couple questions. I'm serious. And I would say to do that wherever you're going to buy your thermal. From the manufacturer, do it to the dealer. You need to know. And again, if somebody doesn't answer right that minute, leave that voicemail or leave that email, whatever it is, and test that customer service out. And when you're confident,
Yeah, we'll call you back. Well, we'll pick up.
you're going to pick up or call you back. That's it. So anyway, guys, we really, really do appreciate you watching this show. We will be back next Thursday with another great show. I have no idea what it's going to be, but it's not going to be Tim, Ashley, Tim, but it'll be something. I'm sure.
Make it on the list.
Yeah.
And I told these guys, said, "What are we wearing on the show?" I said, "Outdoor Legacy shirts." And neither one of them have an outdoor
Well, I was
legacy show.
afraid everybody was going to, but we did get Tim an outdoor legacy cap. I don't know. Tim may get fired over this. I have no idea, but he's got an outdoor legacy cap, so I don't know. Maybe his last time. You're not going to get Tim when you call anymore.
Tim's replacement.
When people call up, they're just going to say, this is fake Tim.
This is fake Tim.
All right, y'all. OutdoorLegacyGear.com, theLateNightVisionShow.com. You can find all of our past episodes there. Again, thanks for everybody being on the show. We're going to see how this ends up in the edit process and how much of it's actually going to air. But we were going to be back, more reviews, more talk, more hunting talk, right here on the Late Night Vision Show podcast, the first and only podcast for all of you hog hunter, coyote hunters, anything to do, what we say, anything you can do at night with a thermal or night vision optic legally, you can see it right here. The Late Night Vision Show. Y'all check it out next Thursday. Stay safe in the field. Keep making them bacon pancakes.
And don't wait around for pictures of dead coyotes.